Hello guys, and welcome to my channel. Today's episode is going to be a plant update video. I'm going to give you all the amazing updates on all of my plants, including my Christmas cactuses, and we'll see where they're at and what else you need to do for them. So let's get started. We are going to start with the Easter cactuses. This is one of my Easter cactuses right here. I'm watching out for my cat below my feet. As you can see, it's growing leaves, which is good. The Easter cactuses, you're not really expecting too much right now because it's not around Easter time for them to start blooming. But if you see leaves, that is definitely a good sign there. So I got one more Easter cactus, which is this guy right here, who has been growing steadily, nicely. Got leaves growing and everything. Everything is looking good with this guy. Here is one of my big Christmas cactuses. It has been getting a little cold here in Florida the past couple of weeks, so what I've been doing is I've been putting these guys right by that back door where it gets cold air, and I let them sit there overnight while I go to bed. I let them sit there, and then when I wake up I bring them back up. So everything is looking good. We do have on this one possible buds. Possible. So we've got this one right here who's growing something right there. We won't know what it is for a couple weeks at least, so it starts growing out so you see what it is, but I'm hopeful it's a bud. This soon, I'll be okay with that. Even though they're supposed to bloom around Christmas time, I'll be really cool if it starts producing a bud at this point. So we got this guy again. I do the same thing if all of them I put them by the back door every night, and this guy doesn't show any signs of any possible buds coming through, but it's looking really good at this point. So and here's my last Christmas cactus. Everything is looking good with it. There's a possible bud there. I think that's the only one this one's showing. Yeah, only has one possible bud coming through. Possible. Again, you won't know what it is until it develops even further. So right now it's just a possible bud, which I'm really excited about the possibility. So what if you want to repot your Christmas cactuses, I would suggest you wait until after the blooming season, after Christmas time, probably in the spring or summer, because that's when they're not going to be so active. During the winter time is when they're going to be producing lots and lots of flowers. They'll bloom them and then they'll fade. You want to wait until after they are done doing that. So spring to summertime is the best time, I would say, to repot them if you would like to do so, which I might do with those two because they're getting a little cramped right there. So I might repot them in a bigger pot together. Yeah, that might be the plan this summer. Just have to wait and see how everything goes. So here is this aloe plant, who is doing quite well. There's no signs of stress on it. Everything is going well. We got this little leaf right here growing. We got this leaf doing well. Everything seems to be going just fine with this guy. Again, you definitely want to keep one indoors. If you are prone to burns, kitchen burns, and you definitely want to keep one outside because they can grow up to 12 babies a year. When we go outside, I'll show you how many babies the mother aloe plant has produced at this point. And you just want to make sure you have one inside in case you get burned. It's better to have one than get burned and not have one, and then you're kind of screwed at that point. But it's good to have one inside just in case you get burned. You definitely want to keep one inside. So now we're gonna move on to my Phalaenopsis orchids. So right now for the winter time, I keep the temperature in the house around 67 to 68 depending on how hot it does get during the day. It's like right now it's about 72 degrees, so definitely want to keep an eye on the temperature of your house during winter, because The orchids can only take up to 65 degrees Fahrenheit temperature during the winter. So definitely want to keep that in mind. So we got this beautiful guy, we got this flower spike growing, really beautiful. The roots are doing quite well. Everybody is looking good. There are no new signs of new roots, new leaves, or new flower spikes at this point. Everything is looking good with this guy. So now we got this one who is doing quite well. We got this nice leaf growing, we got this flower spike that's still going. Everything is looking good. I wanted to recommend cutting back the flower spike unless it's dying off, which it would be like a brown color. As long as it's a nice green color, it means it's still healthy. You don't want to cut it to risk infection to the plant, because that will be something totally different and something that's unnecessary to do. So I just think the flower spike, I leave it alone. I let it grow the way it wants to until it starts dying off, and then once it starts dying off, I cut it back and let it recover and then grow another one. So that's what I do. I wouldn't recommend cutting the flower spike unless it is dying off. So next is this guy right here who has these aerial roots coming. Let's see, I got 3 aerial roots currently with this guy. There is a new leaf growing. It's very, very tiny, so I can't really show it on camera because it's so tiny I can barely see it. We have this little bitty flower spike right here, and the root system is looking amazing at this point. So everybody's looking good so far. So now we are going to go for my big orchid. This is my big one right here. Yeah. So everything's looking good. Here's the aerial roots right here that are growing nicely. And we have this giant flower spike that's still intact. And we also have a little leaf right there growing. So the little guy is starting to come out. I don't see, nope, there's no new signs of new roots coming through. Just some old ones coming through, but everything is looking good with this guy, this big old flower spike. So hopefully with the cold weather coming, we will see some buds and some blooms. I would really, really like to see that. I really would. So next is my baby orchid. This is the smallest one out of the bunch. It's got this nice leaf growing. No new signs of new leaves. It's got this nice roots coming in. I think since I've moved it to a bigger container, it's going to grow more and more roots, which is what I want at this point. And here is my last one. This guy who, if you've been here for a while, know I've been having issues with this guy. Not growing at all. But the roots are growing. I got a secondary root coming in right there. And what is that? What is this? That looks like a flower spike. It's very, very tiny. Remember last week I told you guys it could be a possible root, but it's looking more like a flower spike now. It's just like the same as the first one I showed you, and that's growing into a flower spike. So it looks like this is finally growing a flower spike. Yay! I love it. I might have to switch containers. I don't know. We'll just to see how this one grows. So I'm trying to make sure the way that flower spike is, it's kind of facing the sunlight. I might have to move that to a smaller container so that the flower spike doesn't hit anything. But we'll just have to see how that goes. So now I'm gonna see you guys outside and show you all the plants outside and see how they are doing. So I'll see you guys in just a second. Okay guys, here are all the aloe plants. So right here, that is the mother aloe right there. She's growing lots and lots of leaves. And all of her babies seem to be doing good. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So still has 6 babies. But there could be other babies under the mother aloe that I can't see at this point. But currently, she has 6 babies. Everybody's doing good. Everything's going great. I might have to water these guys while I'm out here. But otherwise, everything is doing quite well. And here is the poinsettia, who is doing quite well. Everything is looking good with this guy. New leaves are coming in. That's always something good to have with this poinsettia. And hopefully within the next few weeks, we will see some flowers and some red leaves coming through. Here is my rose bush. It's doing quite well. It's starting to make the comeback. We got new leaves coming in. Everything is looking good with this guy. I don't see any signs of new buds coming through. I think it's just going to focus on its leaf growth and root growth. So we can't wait to see any more buds coming through. Okay guys, we just came back from outside. All the amazing plants are going so well. I'm still really excited about that orchid. At first I thought it was going to be a root, but it turns out it's going to be a flower spike. So it's really, really exciting. So I might have to move it back to a smaller container so that the flower spike doesn't hit anything. So I don't want to hit anything this early, it's still kind of fragile this early in the stage. So let's see what I gotta do. So again, all the links to all the fertilizers that I use and my thermometer and humidifier detector will be in the description below in case you would like to check those out and maybe get one for yourself. Everything that I suggest to you in the links below, my Amazon affiliate, I use myself. I would not try to sell you on something that I do not use. I use those every single week, and I use my humidifier and temperature detector every single day. So those are the things that I personally use, so you never have to wonder if I use these things or not. I totally do. You have to fertilize your plants every 2 weeks. With my orchids, what I do with my orchids is I take them into the kitchen actually, and I get a big like Tupperware kind of thing where I put the fertilizer for the specific orchid, and I put them in all together, as many as possible. I don't want to cram them, but I try to put them in like at least 2 or 3 in one container if possible, depending on the size of the containers. And then I sit them in the fertilized water for 1 hour, and then I take them out and I put them in fresh water back in their containers. And that's all I do for them. For the rest of them, I will take a cup or 2 of water and put the fertilizer and stir it together and just pour it into the containers for the rest of the plants. So that is gonna be it for this week. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like this video if you liked it, share it to grow our community, and subscribe if you're new here. I do these every single Tuesday, and hit that bell so you're always notified when I put out new videos, and I'll see you guys next week.